Okay, it's recording to the cloud. There we go. Hi, Mary, welcome. All right, well, welcome everyone. I guess everyone's in Yellowknife except for Anne-Elizabeth, who is in France. So that's exciting. It's 7 p.m. over there. So this is bedtime flow for her and morning Monday flow for us. Everyone's got their mat and some props to sit on. How's the sound?
Whole bunch of space.
Good, okay. I'm just gonna plug in my speaker. So if there's anything that goes wrong with the sound, as always, just speak up, I can hear you. But I will get you guys to turn off your, mute your microphone, perfect. All right, and I'll just check that I'm in the picture. Right, looking good. You guys probably don't have a whole complement of yoga props, but whatever you've got nearby, just have a seat. However you feel comfortable. Bring your hand onto your heart. Take a deep breath in. So I'm teaching online yoga teacher training right now, which is all about collaborative learning. And this week, everyone said what a heartfelt practice means to them. And one of my students said, so for her, heartfelt practice is she imagines that her heart is smiling at the world out at her. And I was thinking about that as I was walking up to the studio just now. So if you want, just with your hand on your heart, picture a smiling heart extending benevolent love all around you. And then let that feeling of that, let that smiling heart be the thing that knocks down any obstacles in your way. And now with your hand on your heart, you could bring both hands onto your heart now if you want, but just count out 5 breaths, really slow, just patiently inhaling and exhaling, not rushing it. 5 on your own count. And then on the 6th breath, reach your hands up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift your chest up and look up. And then exhale, bring your hands down beside your hips and do that 5 times. So we'll call this land and smiling heart practice. I just love how people interpret the yoga practice. And then when they share these tiny little anecdotes, it really adds a richness to their teaching. Land and smiling heart practice. One more time, reach your hands up to the ceiling. And then this time, as your hands come down and twist. So left hand to right knee, twist over your right shoulder. And then hands up to reach up and twist the other side. And we'll do that twice each side. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. Reach up. And exhale. And then hands onto your knees. Just sit up really tall, straighten your elbows, and use that leverage of pressing your hands into your knees to straighten your spine. Tuck your chin slightly into your chest. And sit still in meditation for 3 deep breaths. If you want, you can notice any narrative, any whatever's running through your mind. We'll come back to this meditative seat in about 45 minutes. Maybe there'll be a difference. Maybe not, but it's always worth giving it a shot with a yoga practice. So get rid of your prop. We'll start to move. Come onto your hands and knees. Do a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Tailbone and gaze lifts up to the ceiling. And then exhale and round forward. 3 times. And then on the next round, bring your right hand behind your head, point your elbow right up to the ceiling, take a breath in, and then bring your elbow to touch your opposite wrist. And do that a couple of times. And then on the last time, pause, elbow pointing high, high, high up to the ceiling. Big stretch through your right side body, look up. And then thread the needle, right arm sweeps underneath left. Rest the side of your head on the mat. Perfect. Take a couple of breaths here, just tucked in. If you want to add a little bit more, you could extend your left leg out to the side. And then inhale, reach your right hand all the way up to the ceiling. Big stretch up. And then come onto your hands and knees. Same sequence, other side. Left hand behind your head. Inhale. Reach your little wing up to the ceiling. Exhale, elbow to wrist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. One more time.
I should do. They're doing yoga. I was trying to get online.
Exhale. And then finally reach up, up, up. Pause here for a moment. And then left arm sweeps underneath right. Rest here with the side of your head on the mat. Hi, I think that's Lorna. Welcome. You can extend your right leg if you want. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling, big stretch here. And then both hands down to the mat. So keep your right leg extended if it's not already, or extend it out. And then come up into a gate pose. So hands are on your waist, your right leg is extended out to the side. Reach your hands up to the ceiling, and then side bend, right hand down onto your calf, left hand reaches up and over. Look up towards the ceiling. And then come in and out of this a couple of times. So reaching your hands up, and then down to the side. Breathe out. One more time. And exhale. And then switch sides. Left leg extends out to the side, kind of a modified gate pose. Hands reach up, side bend. Inhale up. And exhale. Inhale up to the ceiling. You guys look so good. We're all wearing black. Looks great. Bring your hands down to your heart center. Come back to all fours and then press yourself back to downward facing dog and pedal out your feet. So think about stretching the sole of each foot. So you're lifting up onto your toes, pressing the balls of your feet into the mat to stretch out the soles of your feet. For all of us in Yellowknife, you've probably been wearing rubber boots all weekend, which are not very good for your feet, so it probably feels really good to stretch the soles of your feet.
And then walk your hands to meet your feet in the middle of the mat, forward fold. Separate your feet to wider than hip width apart. So just making a little bit of space for your hamstrings. And then walk your hands over to the right. Side bend to your right side. If you can't quite reach the mat, your hands could just come onto your shin. And then hands through center and over to the left. Side bend, forward fold. And then come back through center. Hands are on the mat or on your shins. Halfway lift and lengthen, look up. Exhale, fold, chin to chest. This time stand all the way up. Inhale, reach up. Bring your hands down to your heart center, smiling heart. Just extending benevolent love all around you, starting with yourself. Take a big step to the top of your mat, feet together, knees together, finding the balance on both feet standing. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. We'll do one half sun salutation. So fold down, touch the mat, bend your knees if you need to. Look up and breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out, and then stand up as you inhale, reach up. And then standing here, do a side bend with your feet and knees together. So side bend over to the right. And then back to center and over to the other side. And back to center. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward and up and into a back bend. And then exhale, fold down to the mat. Separate your feet to mat width apart and twist. So keep your left hand on the mat, reach your right hand up to the ceiling. And do that twice each side, exhaling down. So adding on bigger and bigger movements, but always linking your breath to the movement. So generally, as you fold down, you exhale. As you open up and reach up, you inhale. And exhale, both hands down. Heel toe your feet to hip width apart. You can measure hip width apart by planting your fist in between your big toes, checking the distance of your feet. And then bring your hands to your waist. Pick your toes up and off the mat. Pick your arches up and off the mat. And then one by one, plant your toes back down and into the mat. Just feeling this yogi toe grip down on the mat. You're firmly rooted. Weight is equal in both feet. Come all the way up to standing. Keep that pressure between your feet and the mat. Reach up. Bring your hands to your heart center. Really, really strong legs here, engaging just above your kneecap, so your quad strength is engaged as you press down into both feet equally. And we'll come through 2 sun salutation A's, modified for now. So reach your hands up, upward facing salute. Fold forward, exhale, both hands down. Halfway lift and lengthen, inhale. Step both feet to the back of the mat and lower your knees, chin, and chest down. So your tailbone is sticking up. Belly down, look up, low cobra, inhale. Tuck your toes, child's pose to down dog, exhale. Take 3 breaths here. Stretch out your feet again, pedal your feet, pedal your knees. And then look to the top of the mat. Step all the way to the top of the mat. Feet land hip width apart. Press equally into both feet. Halfway lift and lengthen. Breathe in. Fold forward, chin to chest. Stand up, upward facing salute. Look up at your palms. Hands to your heart center. Exhale. Feet firm and steady. Planted down and into the mat. One more sun salutation A like that. Inhale, reach up, upward facing salute. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Modified chaturanga, feet back, knees, chin, and chest lower. Low cobra, inhale. Child's pose to down dog, exhale. 3 deep breaths here. Look to the top of the mat. Step forward with your non-dominant foot. So if you always step forward with your right, step forward with your left. Halfway lift and lengthen. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Upward facing salute. Stand up. Inhale and reach up. Hands to your heart center. Exhale. We'll do one sun salutation B, building a little bit more heat. So for this, feet and knees together. Weight is equal between both feet. Bend your knees really deeply. Touch the mat with your fingertips. And then sweep your hands up to the ceiling. Chair pose. Look up towards your thumbs. It's all right if you can't see them. You're just looking up towards them. And then fold forward. Straighten your legs. Hands down. Look up and lengthen. Breathe in. Step back. Modified chaturanga. Knees, chin, and chest lower. Lift into cobra. Belly down. Chin lifts up to the ceiling. Child's pose to down dog. Exhale. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. High lunge. So stay up on your back toes. Hands reach up. Exhale your hands down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Either stay here or come forward. Modified chaturanga. Knees, chin, and chest lower. Belly down. Low cobra. Inhale. Child's pose to down dog. Exhale. Left foot steps forward. Lunge, reach up. Hands down. Since we all did the vinyasa on the other side, step back, plank, and then lower. Modified chaturanga. Knees, chin, and chest. Low cobra. Belly down, chin up. Child's pose to down dog. Take 3 breaths. If you want to add on to your down dog, you could take twisted down dog, reach your left hand for your right ankle. And then other side. And then both hands down. Step to the top of the mat. Look up and lengthen, breathe in, feet together, knees together. Fold forward, exhale. Chair pose. Lots of heat, hold here for 3 breaths. Knees squeezing towards each other, heels pressing down into the mat. Bend your knees a bit deeper. Yes, lovely. And then stand up, hands at heart center. Smiling heart. So one more sun salutation, this time the Jivamukti style, so with lots of back bends. Interlace your thumbs, spread your fingers wide. Inhale your hands up into a back bend. Exhale, fold forward, clasp your hands behind your back. Look up and lengthen, breathe in. Both hands down, step your right foot back. Knee down, chin up, look up. Step your left foot back to meet your right, or so your knees meet at the back of the mat. Knees, chin, and chest lower, modified chaturanga. Low cobra, inhale. Child's pose to down dog, exhale. Right foot steps forward, back knee down, chin up. Left foot steps to the top of the mat. Halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Interlace your thumbs, fingers wide, stand up into the back bend. And then other side, fold forward, clasp your hands behind your back. Halfway lift and lengthen, look up. Hands down, left foot back, knee down, chin up. Right knee back beside left. Chin and chest lower to the mat. Breathe in as you lift into cobra. Breathe out as you press back to child's pose to down dog. Step your left foot to the top of the mat. Knee down, chin up. Right foot's forward. Deep forward fold. Interlace your thumbs, fingers spread wide, stand up, last back bend of the sequence. Really deep back bend, lift your heart high, gaze up. Smiling heart here. And then hands to your heart center, palms together. Stand firm and steady on both feet. Bring your hands to your waist. And then take a big step to the back of your mat with your right foot. Warrior two sequence. So point your right toes to the back of the mat. Bend, bend, bend into your right knee. Keep your hands on your waist for a moment. So your chest and your hips are turned to the long edge of the mat. Hands are on your waist. See if you can bring your right thigh parallel to the mat. So we try not to admire ourselves in the yoga poses, but sometimes it's handy to have the webcam there to take a look at how deeply your right knee is bent. And then press your right hand, the back of your right hand into your knee, and press your knee back and into your hand. So creating that isometric pressure, deep bend in your right knee. Extend your arms out from your shoulders. Gaze over your right middle finger. And then find equilibrium here. So kind of tip towards the right, and then tip back towards the left, and then find that steady balance between both feet. And then straighten your right knee, reach your hands up and overhead, breathe in. Come back to warrior two, knee bends a little bit deeper, exhale. Do that twice more, inhale, reach up and look up. Exhale, bend, look at your right middle finger. One more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, pause here. Straighten your right knee, keep your hands outstretched. Come to triangle. Right hand can press to the back of your ankle, or sorry, back of your right hand presses into your ankle. Left hand reaches up. Extended side angle, right knee will bend. Rest your right elbow on your right knee. Reach your left hand up and over. Keep your right fingertips strong and active, so no floppy right hand. It's like your hand is really strong. Fingers squeezing towards each other. Press into your feet, rise back up to warrior two. Keep that bend in your right knee. And then just pivot your feet. So you're already set up for warrior two, other side. Hands to your waist to start. Square your hips and chest to the long edge of the mat. Left hand presses into your knee. Create that pressure between knee and hand. Extend your hands. Straighten your left knee, reach up, breathe in. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten, reach up, look up. Exhale. One more time. The only thing that matters is linking the breath to the movement. Look up. Warrior two. Be completely still for a breath. The only thing, just your belly expands. And then all the breath leaves your lungs. Triangle, left leg straightens. Press the back of your hand into your calf. Reach up and look up. Three breaths, perfectly balanced on both feet. Extended side angle, bend your left knee. Left elbow resting on your knee. Right hand overhead. 3 breaths here. To end the sequence, look down. Both hands come down either side of your front foot. Step yourself back, downward facing dog. One more standing sequence, this time from down dog. Step your right heel as high as you can, 3-legged dog. And just make some big circles with your right leg. So point your toe, mobility in your hip. Switch directions. Look forward, step to a high lunge, right foot in between your hands. Hands reach up and overhead. And then pitch yourself forward. So your hands are reaching up and overhead. Your palms can be pressing or not. Upper body is kind of pitching forward. And then stand back up into the lunge. So lots of strength in your right knee. We'll stretch the right hamstring in a moment. But for now, just building some heat by keeping that strong bend in your right knee. Standing, reaching up, and then pitching forward. One more time, reaching up. And then bring your hands down to either side of your front foot. Triangle pose, or sorry, pyramid pose. Step your left foot a little bit closer. Bring your hands to your waist, so everybody can reach their waist. This is the harder version of the pose. Both legs are straight. Gaze at your second toe of your front foot. And if you can reach, you can bring your hands down to the mat. If not, just keep your hands on your waist. Doing a really deep stretch through your right hamstring. From here, we're coming to a balance. We're coming to warrior three. So hands are on your waist. Bend your right knee slightly, tip forward. You're already there. Just float your left leg up and off the mat. Reach your hands out to the side, airplane, or full warrior three, hands reach forward. 3, 2, 1, hands to your waist. Come back to pyramid. So left foot lands on the mat, straighten your right knee. And then stand yourself up, reach your hands up to the ceiling. Feet can stay where they are. Look up. Come through a modified vinyasa. Hands come down, step back, knees, chin, and chest lower. Lift into cobra, look up. Child's pose to down dog, press back. Left leg to the ceiling, and then big circles with your left hip. And switch directions. Look forward, lunge, step through. Stand up. And then pinch forward. Looking great. Stand up, reach up. Pitch yourself forward. Do that one more time. And then both hands down or hands to your waist, pyramid, right foot steps closer. If your hands are on the mat, lift your belly up and away from your thigh. So no belly resting on your thigh. Lots of strong engagement with your legs here. Spread those yogi toes, so space between each toe if you can. Gazing at your second toe. Coming into warrior three, start with your hands on your waist. Just lift your right leg up, you're already there. Chest is parallel to the mat. Sorry, spine is parallel to the mat. Airplane, hands out to the side, and then reach forward. Yes, looking good, ladies. Reach, reach, reach. 3. Reach your hands forward if you can, palms facing each other. 2. And then 1, hands to your waist, come back to pyramid. Right foot lands behind you. 1 more deep breath in this fold, hamstring stretch. Stand yourself up, inhale and reach up. And then step your feet together at the top of the mat. Feet together, knees together. Pick up all 10 yogi toes, press them one by one back down and into the mat. Pick your right foot up. Squeeze your knee in towards your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, shoulders down.
And then look up. So no need to look at your knee. You know it's there. Look up. Hold onto your knee with your right hand. Open your knee out to the side. Extend your left arm out from your shoulder. Unravel yourself. Pick your right foot up. So, sorry, your right foot is already picked up, but squeeze your right knee in towards your chest. And then land your right foot in front of you. So come up onto your toes on your right foot, onto the toes of your left foot. So you're standing up on your toes. Perfect. The right foot is in front, looks good. Hands beside your hips, palms facing forward, bend your knees, sweep your hands up to the ceiling, look up. And then exhale, straighten your knees, hands press down. Flip your palms, hands reach, palms face up. Inhale, exhale. Do that 5 more times on your own breath. Deep, deep, deep bend in your knees. Standing on your toes, heels lifting high. 1 more time, reaching up, looking up, breathing in. Exhale, straighten, hands beside your hips. Just step your feet back together. Feet together, knees together. Pick up all 10 yogi toes. Plant them down into the mat. Stand firm and steady. Left knee to chest. Shoulder blades together. Left foot engaged, so no floppy left foot. Great, yes, nice, I saw that. So left toes lifting towards your knee. Open your left knee out to the side, and then extend your right hand. Unravel, back to center. Squeeze your left knee up and into your chest. Land your left toes on the mat in front of you. Balancing on all 10 yogi toes, heels lifted high. Bend your knees, palms reach up to the ceiling. Exhale. Bend your knees, inhale. Exhale, 4 more. Smiling heart on the inhale. Really strong feet, heels lifting. And then feet together. Pick up your yogi toes. Last time, plant them down 1 by 1. Feel strong and steady on both feet. Hands in front of your smiling heart. Let that smile. So that smiling heart is the thing that removes any obstacles in your way. There's a lovely image from one of the yoga teacher trainees. So feet together, knees together, come down to the mat through a vinyasa. So really slow, we'll hold each pose for 2 breaths. Starting, so it's a sun salutation A. Inhale your hands, upward facing salute, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Halfway lift and lengthen, 2 breaths here, inhale. Step both feet back, modified chaturanga, knees, chin, and chest lower. Hold here. Lift into low cobra, belly down. Toenails pressing down. Chin lifting, hands underneath your shoulders. Elbows pointing straight back behind you. Exhale, child's pose. 2 breaths here. Deep rest.
And then 2 breaths in down dog. Exhale, last down dog. Gaze towards your feet, your knees, or your belly button, depending on how warmed up your spine is. And then walk your hands to meet your feet at the back of the mat. Lift up onto your tippy toes, and then hands lift up and off the mat. Come into, it's kind of like a squat, but you're on your toes. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Lift your heels high, and then lower down as low as you can get. Eventually your bum comes right down onto the mat. Extend your legs out in front of you. Just draw a little imaginary line behind your knees, and then bend your knees so your feet are right on that line. Wrap your left arm around your shins, right fingertips behind you, twist over your right shoulder. And then twist to the other side, right arm around your shins. One more deep breath in here, press into your feet. And then come back to center. Just 2 fingers behind your knees. Lift your heels up on the mat and just lightly rest your big toes on the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chin and your chest. Maybe stay here if this is enough. Maybe float your legs up and off the mat. Maybe release your hands. Take 3 breaths here. Squeeze your knees together, point your toes, lift your chin and chest. Just touch your toes back down on the mat if they were lifted. 2 fingers behind your knees. Straighten up your spine. And then one more time, adding whatever level you want, whatever level you need. And we're going to lower all the way down. So straighten your legs. Lower yourself down to the mat. Head resting on the mat. Take a tiny little rest. So it's like a mini Shavasana. Feet are wide, palms facing up to the ceiling. And then bend your knees, feet flat on the mat. So we're going to do back bends, but first just a little bit of core integration. So think about these core moves, I guess, as like a way to remind yourself to keep your core strong in your back bend, and not so much as a vanity abs thing. It's just a core integration. It's from the Baptiste Power, and they always do core right before they do back bend. So extend your legs up towards the ceiling. The entire length of your spine is resting on the mat. And if you need, you can slide your thumbs underneath your hips. It's a little bit harder if you don't. Point your toes, legs are straight. Lower your right leg so it hovers above the mat. And then legs meet overhead, left leg lowers. Keep your toes pointed. Exhale, right. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, lower left. Keep going. Focusing on your breath, focusing on strong core activation. Knees are straight, toes are pointed. Keep going. If you need a little bit more for the last one, interlace your hands behind your head, lift your shoulder blades up and off the mat. Elbows wide. Do 10 more. Keeping the whole length of your spine pressing into the mat. One more each side. Yes, toes pointed. And then bend your knees, rest your feet on the mat. Just rock your knees from side to side. I think one of the neatest things about all this online yoga is this opportunity I've had to practice with teachers who I've long since moved away from or haven't seen in a long time, or they're not teaching much anymore. But so many people have put free yoga online. And so this like core activation thing is from a Baptiste teacher who I used to practice with a lot in Whistler. And she always said, make sure you warm up your core before you do a back bend. It just reminds you to keep the core strong rather than pushing really deeply into a back bend without the strength to support that deep back bend. So core is warmed up now, feet flat on the mat. Reach your feet or your fingertips down towards your heels. We're going to come into little bridge. So just tickle the backs of your heels with your fingertips and then move your feet slightly out of reach and then reach your fingertips down towards your feet again. So you're accomplishing, you're already in this mini back bend. You have your tailbone resting on the mat. You have your shoulder blades resting on the mat. And then just a slight movement into the next step, lifting your hips high. Core is strong and engaged. It's all warmed up. Clasp your hands behind your back. Press equally into both feet. Lift up all 10 of those yogi toes. Press them back one by one into the mat. Stay here for 3 breaths. And then lower 1 vertebrae at a time, down and into the mat. Rest here. We'll come up 2 more times. All right, up we go. Second round. Inhale, lift. Clasp your hands behind your back. Point your knuckles towards your feet. Back bends aren't so much about the ego of how deeply can you bend your spine. It's about maintaining and encouraging mobility in your spine. Exhale, lower yourself down, take a little break. And then you could do that for the 3rd round, or we'll add on by lifting one leg and then the other. So last time, here we go, up into your Setu Bandhasana, your little bridge. Hands clasped behind your back. Lift your right knee up to your chest. Point your right toes, right knee high. And then knee, foot down, other side. Or not. Point your toes, straighten your leg. And then exhale, both feet down. Lift your hips. Strong core to support the back bend. And then slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, let all of your weight sink into the mat. Feel yourself deeply connected down to the land that's supporting you. Supportive land underneath you, smiling heart, smiling back at it. Benevolent love. And then to counteract that back bend, twist knees to the right. Gaze over your left shoulder. If you're feeling quite flexible and warmed up, extend your legs. And then twist the other way. Legs extended or knees bent. And then curl up into a little ball on the side that you're on. And press yourself to sit. You might not need the prop that you started with to sit comfortably, or you might, either way. Settle yourself in. Hands onto your knees, elbows straight to support this meditation. If you need a little bit of imagery for your meditation, use that smiling heart. And take 5 really slow breaths right back where we started. Now, the only decision to make is what prop you need for your Shavasana. If you have something nearby, a blanket or whatever you need, lie down. Don't abandon your practice yet. This is the most important part, this constructive rest. So you fully support your physical self, get comfortable. And then the idea with Shavasana is that the person who's leading the Shavasana kind of holds space like a sentry. So I will sit and set the timer for 6 minutes, and I'll stay with you. And if your mind is starting to run off to all of the other things you have to do, don't let it come back. It's just 6 minutes of constructive rest, somewhere between sleep and wakefulness. You can do it. I'll see you in 6 minutes. Stretch. Hands reach up and overhead. And then take a couple breaths just to get yourself back up to sit. And we will close with an Om all together. I did this with an Ashtanga group, so I can't say it'll sound good, but it's just a way to unify our voices. Turn your sound on or your speaker on so that we can all join in the Om together, because we're all in this together. We're not in the same boat, but we're in the same storm. So come on up, you're seated, bring your hands into your heart center. And we'll close with 3 Oms. So lately for Oms, I've just been humming. If you want, you can just keep your lips closed together. Just make some kind of audible sound. Hands in front of your heart or hands resting in your lap. Take a deep breath in. Namaste, yogis. Thank you, my friends. If you'd like to stay and chat, you're welcome to. Thank you so much for the practice. And Anne Elizabeth, thanks for signing in from France. That's amazing.
I hope I'll be able to do it again.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm doing a practice with one of my teachers in France starting tomorrow. So he's teaching at 5 p.m. in France, but I will be on my mat at 9 a.m.
Oh, so he's teaching from Chamonix at, he's doing a Zoom thing from France as well?
Yeah, it's he's an Ashtanga teacher, and he's so I just got an email from him, which was so exciting because I used to practice with him. I lived in Chamonix for a couple of months, and I used to go to his studio every day. But I had thought that I'd never practice with him again. But here we are.
Yeah, I'm not in Chamonix. I'm far away from Chamonix. I am in Brittany on the west coast.
Oh.
But my brother lives in this area, not far from Chamonix.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so great.
So how does it work? Is it some of those are we have to pay, right? We have to register, and some of those are by donation?
Yeah, so this one's sponsored by the Aboriginal Sports Circle, which is really nice of them. And then the other ones with Taiga, like the noon and the 5 p.m. are by donation. And the 7:30 a.m. is paid with me, just because it's the easiest way to get people to join me in the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we have, Jordan, do we have another class happening?
Not with us.
Oh, okay, okay.
Another one at noon?
I just didn't realize, Donna, I didn't realize you were here. Hi.
Okay, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much, Kate. Now I'm going to feel good for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Jordan. It's so great to have you. Good luck with your kids this afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Anne Elizabeth. Have a good night.
I tried to
Good
sign
night.
up.
Bonne nuit.
Yeah. Thank you. Merci. Bye.
Bye.
I'm not sure how to stop this. Oh, yes, stop video.